Now there's noise and sound. And hello,
No!
everyone! Welcome once again to an exciting episode of Treasure of the Lost Legion.
Or as I like to say sometimes, Legend of the Lost Legion.
He does totally forget that every time, it seems.
I've gotten better in the last few Saturdays.
Oh, I got to adjust that a little bit. Because it's cutting off the very bottom, but I can do that right now. That's not a problem.
I feel like I should make you a new overlay.
The overlay's okay. It's just, making sure that, everything fits in the right place. And I had that little welcome to the show at the bottom there, but it wasn't showing up exactly. Now it is.
Well,
slight adjustment.
I'm tied up in
the way
a
most
cell.
people do overlays is in a PNG file. That way you can line up the cameras really well and super fast.
Yeah, I mean...
I'll make you the one. It's only $20, don't worry.
Anyway, alright everyone. Well, where we last left off, our intrepid heroes went to a new planet, where they were on a deserted island, and, hung out there for a while, until they met someone, who basically
His name was Steve.
Yeah.
I was sad because it wasn't a desert island.
That's true. You were sad because it. I'm hoping anyway, Doran, the kitsune, who looks like a kitsune.
Kitsune.
Kitsune. I'm sorry. Same difference. Anyway, he introduced.
It's the same.
If it's the same. Wait a second. No. Anyway, he introduced himself, and he basically managed to arrange passage for you to an actual bastion of civilization on this planet. But Kellen and Olag were basically tied up in order to get there. So now, Kellen and Olag are in shackles, and Whisper is the hero who captured them.
Now, I would like to dispute that Olag is not, in fact, in shackles, because we agreed he was playing up on being an old man and using his warhammer as a cane.
I think they still shackled you.
Nope.
I think they tied you up instead.
I don't
yeah.
think they... No, they didn't do anything.
No, I'm pretty sure they
tied
did.
up because he was a dwarf, which is more not a gnome.
I'm pretty sure you were still tied up in some fashion.
You're just jealous of my gnominess.
I mean, I hate gnomes.
And my
On the personal,
nomenclature.
out of character level, I hate gnomes.
Gnomes are cool. I'm sorry.
Gnomes are awful.
No.
Well,
they're
next time you need a bomb made,
Suck
I'll just
it.
ask someone that's not a gnome.
and they will tell you I do not know how to do that.
They
I
might.
mean,
I
they
mean,
might.
or they might know how to do that. It's hard to say sometimes.
There's only one other person on the ship that I know who might be able to make a bomb for you.
Are you being a bomb-phobic?
No, I'm just sticking true to my nomenclature.
Oh gosh. I didn't get enough sleep for this.
No one did. No one did.
Definitely did not get enough sleep for this.
I did.
See,
Just
our
make it
chat
fun.
agrees. Gnomes are awesome.
Oh yeah, I love
Gnomes
gnomes.
are not... No. Chat, you're wrong. Gnomes are awful.
Gnomes are awesome.
And they said, "Shut up, old man dwarf."
First off, no one can do a better gnome voice than me here.
I don't
Second
know
off,
about that.
Oh gosh.
That's not a gnome. That's not a gnome. That is a leprechaun.
yes. Oh my god, do you not know where gnomes come from? Okay, first off, in actual fairy tale-ness, gnomes and leprechauns are actually enemies, and goblins are actually evil gnomes. Or no, evil leprechauns. I think they're actually both. Yeah, so in like Irish folklore, it's like a three-way war, because the goblins are just fuck off. It's leprechauns
Assholes.
are wingless fairies, and gnomes are basically dickish leprechauns.
Yes.
Yeah. That's like the actual folklore of it.
And I know that, but it's fun to be a dickish little.
But that means you come through this forest.
Maybe I'm not an Irish gnome.
This isn't an Irish accent.
What is it then?
Yeah, what is that?
It's not an accent at all. It's just how I talk. Jesus.
Any accent is how they talk. Is how you talk.
You know, that's what people would say about the world we're living in. But let us build this wall to keep other accents out.
Anyway, let's move back to the game. So
Not distracted.
So the ship has now.
Let us get back to the game.
The ship has pulled up
Urban
to.
Leprechaun on helium.
Joe, come
Sorry.
on now. Yeah, rein it back in. Anyway, so your ship has now docked, or the ship you were aboard has docked at a floating village next to an island, basically, where you have, of course, lots of buildings and plankways between all kinds of buildings spread across the water, leading up to a number of larger buildings set upon the land.
Yes.
Yep.
The larger buildings are in fact on land.
Yep.
I'm glad the larger buildings aren't on the sea.
Yes, that would have been very confusing.
Well, I mean, they're like 2- and 3-story buildings that you can see over where it's coming off of the beach and stuff, you know. It does seem to have a transition between them.
So there's condos further inland.
You don't know. I mean, it's not like they're condos in this universe, so quiet you.
Beach condos!
Okay, but since there's buildings on the water, do we see anybody in like a white and black striped shirt on a boat just like singing?
No.
Do we hear steel drums in the distance?
Are there by any chance any Venetian gondolas here?
No.
Are we in fact in my homeland of Italy?
No. Well, unless Italy is totally in the Caribbean. It's like, it's on the water, it's a little like...
Could be.
It could be. Like the buildings on the water are like wooden with, you know, like kind of grass roofs and stuff like that. They're very simple buildings on the water. It seems like a lot more stone and complex works when you're getting towards land itself, where they're building much more permanent structures, it seems.
Grass roots, you say? They must have a farmer's market.
This is true. They very well might. They probably have a budding fishing industry.
But more importantly, do we hear any steel drums?
Currently, no. Doesn't say you might not.
That's disappointing.
So, the two of you, Olag, Kellen, you are basically tied back up, shackled back up, and you're escorted off the ship. Doran's gonna kind of go to Whisper. It's like, look, I'm thinking my cousin will take them to some cells. Perhaps we can negotiate for them, maybe, with the chieftain. I don't know if my cousin will listen. It's either that or we have to break him out at some point in time. Both ways are a little difficult.
Guy's oddly friendly for just meeting us. It's like, hey, I'm willing to break your friends out, even though they might be the ancient evil.
He doesn't think we are. He just thinks that other people might think we are.
That's how they get in. You don't build that wall, and the ancient evil it crosses the border.
I mean,
There
thousands
upon thousands of years later.
Exactly.
Here, why don't we go to an inn for now? It should be fairly comfortable where they're going. We can talk a little bit about it more there and figure out what we're doing.
Can I do an insight
Sure.
and see if I get any kind of weird vibes, like maybe he's just trying to get me more separated from them?
Sure.
Sounds like sexual harassment to me.
So good at these. Hey!
You do feel like he actually does want to do something for your friends, but it's also like he seems more concerned about going to a bar right now. Anyway.
Got it.
Good.
Okay.
You're not sure why?
But he doesn't have like evil intent behind whatever he's saying. It's
Not
just kind of
really.
like maybe not as genuine.
It's
as
like it's more like, oh, we should save them. Yes, let's get right on top of that. You know.
Bar.
Why don't we go discuss this at the local drinking establishment?
Got it. Okay. Alright, I will, as we're going... Okay, before we go, actually, I would like to see where they are being housed or kept. Just so that I know where to come back and find them if I do need to, come speak with them or anything.
Is Twitch fucking up for anyone else?
I don't know.
Because I actually can't get to the stream page.
A minute.
Nope, I'm in Twitch. I see us all.
You're gonna see like Doran kind of give you this look and be like, "We could do that, but I was hoping to have a drink first." But
I just want to see. I don't intend to stay long. I want to just kind of get a lay of the land. I'm not familiar.
Lucky. We might get lucky. All right, I'm gonna go along with you, and maybe we might get lucky.
Are we gambling?
In a way.
Am I not allowed to walk freely?
No.
Around?
That's not it. If it comes up, you'll see.
Uh-oh.
That's a good sign.
Always a great sign.
I guess the two of you then will follow behind as sort of like try to catch up as Kellen and Olag are being taken through the town, across all the boards and stuff into the main part of the city. Everybody's kind of like, no one really knows what's going on. They're just sort of being escorted in shackles for some reason. No one's really like reacting like, oh my god, because it's just a lot of funny looks from people. This like snake-looking woman will quickly come up to Doran and it's like, Doran, how are you? Welcome back. It's been a few days. Oh, I'm fine. Thank you very much. Have you been to the capital lately? Have you heard anything about the Great Exodus? I really am interested to hear if there's been any updates. Oh, no. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. I haven't been back to the capital. It's fine. I'll let you know as soon as I know something new. I'm escorting my new friend here, back to, headquarters. Oh, hello there. This kind of like serpently looking lady, you know.
Yep. I'll just, we're sort of kind of just plodding along, and she'll kind of nod politely. Hello.
Oh, yes. You're a pretty one, aren't you? You should really stop by, too. Don't worry. We have fun with everyone.
Oh, my.
Sounds like a good time. Guys, I got invited to a party.
Yeah.
I might be dinner for the party, but who knows?
Okay, she will quickly leave you then. So, you will continue through the kind of walkways. There will be a few more greetings, just more like, highs and hellos there. People seem to A door.
What? I said bonjour.
Oh, bonjour, yeah. People seem to recognize Doran a lot and actually respond to him. And, he's like, oh, hi, everyone. He's very friendly, very, greeting everyone as they go. Yes.
The popular kid.
He gets in little He gets in little conversations here and there that seem to drag you a little farther behind everyone. Eventually, though, you probably can coax him to continue on following, so it's sort of like, no, come on. We want to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, if he does stop to talk, Whisper will always kind of position herself almost between, him and, the party slowly getting further away, kind of just keeping an eye on them, and maybe look over her shoulder, tapping her foot, come on.
Yes.
Not rude, but definitely hey, we're busy.
Yes. Eventually, though, you'll move into off the docking kind of area from the floating parts of the village onto Sandy Beach. it'll be like a little while before it actually moves on to beach, and it's very short after there that it moves on to stone pathways in between a multitude of small kind of what looks like maybe sandstone bricked buildings. All of them look very quaint. They actually have a similar design, you'd say, to the buildings you saw inside the ruins. You know, very simple, very, like, angled, you know, very kind of square or rectangular shaped. You're sort of led through town where there's all kinds of people moving along. You can see a couple of like carts and stalls set up with various kinds of fish around, kind of like on almost like you're going through a main street.
What?
Yep. It'll be
Okay.
you kind of lose sight of Kellen and Olag, though occasionally like you can kind of see them again. Especially the like Triton man that seems to be leading them along, who's a little taller than most people, it seems like. You will come to this sort of decently sized building, maybe like 3 of whatever the normal buildings in this area would be together, I would say. It seems to have like a little set. It seems to be a little farther, like up on like a raised area, like a little hill. It's got some stairs leading up to it. You kind of get to the front of it as you see Kellen and Olag being led inside.
I assume these guys are not chatty at all.
Not at
to
all.
you.
What if Olag's talking to them? Do they tell him to shut up, or?
Well, the
I tell you to shut up.
For the entire time, the Triton, the guy there, Zirin, has been going on about his greatness and like how this is the greatest victory he's had, and how he's defeated many great sea beasts, but he's stopped an incursion of their ancient enemy. He's kept them out. You know, he's done great things for the city.
Okay. And he's a fish guy, right?
Yes. He's more man than fish, though, I would say. He's kind of got, like, he looks kind of like a human, but with, like, kind of scaly skin.
He's Aquaman.
Except kind of, I think they're, like, kind of grayish blue. I have to remember, like, what a Triton is. They might be more gray or green. I don't know 5th edition Triton off the top of my head.
So he's
A
sickly
Triton
looking.
looks like someone with bluish skin, green hair, webbed
Yep.
fingers,
Yep.
hands, and looks like they have webbed feet and fins
Yep. So
on their legs.
So
Okay.
they look mostly human with little fish parts, you know.
Olag's actually very interested in this. He's actually going to like prod the guy for more information. Just be like, "Oh yes, and what type of sea beasts have you slain? Could you tell me more about them? You are fascinating, sir."
I know your type, trying to get information from me so that you may turn the sea beasts farther against us. I know your trickeries, evil one. Don't worry, we'll have plenty of time to get information out of you about your invasion. This time it won't be so lucky. It will be you who will be defeated, and it will be you who will be slaughtered.
Interesting.
I'd rather not slaughter anything.
Your lies will not be listened to this day. Now move along, short one.
Child.
You smell of fish.
I sell of the mighty sea, which you will respect, or you will find yourself learning to swim without the use of arms and legs.
I don't think he can swim as it is.
You first. Maybe
You
you can teach me how to do that.
Why, I can, small one. The sea
Okay,
is
then let's
one with
take your
me.
arms and legs off and let's see you do it.
No, he simply said without the use of your hands or legs. I assume he can actually swim quite well without the use of his hands or legs.
I want to see.
At least your slightly taller compatriot has sense to him.
To be fair, I'm like 3 feet taller than you.
Maybe like 2 feet taller than me.
Yeah.
I mean, Olaf's like 5'3" or something.
Dwarfs aren't
gonna
that
have-
tall. Dwarves are like 4.
He's very tall for a dwarf. Yes.
Okay, they're like 5 foot when they're very tall, though. I thought.
No, it's like. How do we explain this? He is like 5 something. He's
Okay.
I'm
low
2.5.
on the height scale. So I do have his height somewhere, but that doesn't matter.
Okay. Yes. No. Interesting facts of the day.
Still like several feet tall. Got it.
Yes. Anyway. Okay. So. The two of you are led inside and taken down into what appears to be some kind of basement and thrown into a very simple cell in the basement. You know, some like kind of barred doors. The Triton man kind of throws you inside and then like tells the two that were sort of you, watch them for now until I figure out what to do with them. We can't have them having any funny business.
I can assure you, I am not funny at all.
No, it is not. He can bore the guards to death.
Whisper, soon afterwards,
Yes.
you will head inside. It appears to be... This place seems to be like a combination, maybe... place of work and home is the best way to describe it. It's got things which you would not think would be part of, like, a home, but then it's also got, like, very homely things. And you can, like, see into rooms that look like people are actually using them as rooms.
Okay.
Doran's kind of, like, being very kind of cautious, kind of walking slowly, not making a noise. It's like, this way.
Okay.
Kind of, like,
I would
wandering
follow
along.
him very quietly. Yeah, just like nod and going.
Doran! You're home! You just see kind of him go, ooh! Ugh. Dari! It is good to hear from you. I heard... So finally you decided to do something for the greater good of our people and prove our family name. I keep telling you, it is time for you to stand up. You are the first son of our house, and it is time for you to prove yourself worthy of that name. Yes, sister, I did great with the help of my new friend. Tabix friend. Please, why don't you ask her all about it? I was going to make sure that our prisoners were well kept and in good shape because we want to make sure we can get all the information we need out of them successfully. I'm going to go downstairs now and check on them. You two, talk! As you see, there's another sort of Kitsu-looking, but female this time, standing behind you. So, were you the one that has motivated my brother? Have you been together yet? You seem... Yes. She's gonna kind of like take a look at you. She's actually gonna feel up your hips.
Oh no!
Yes.
I knew that's where this was going.
You will make a fine companion. Perhaps you can continue to motivate him to actually get some work done that would be worthy of our family. Our cousin has been doing great things at sea, but he doesn't live up to his potential listening to his example. He likes to go off and watch some old gate somewhere. What does that get him?
Well, it did catch him a couple of the treasonous bastards as they came through the gate.
And what were you doing on this vacation? Did you go with him? Were you spending time together? Ooh.
Oh, I'm so tempted to just just play it up, like be like, okay, maybe she'll leave me alone if I make it really awkward. Or she might make it worse.
100% worse.
100% worse. I'm gonna roll 4. Let's see what it tells me. Okay. Well, that village is it's quite quaint for a lovely getaway. So I tend to visit it in hopes of seeing Doran out there on occasion.
Oh, come with me. Perhaps we can talk more about this over some tea.
Well, Doran had promised me some fine drinks at the tavern, so once we check on our troublesome friends, we were going to catch a few drinks, and he was going to show me around a bit more.
Oh, I understand. Say no more. Just make sure to inform me when the bonding ceremony will be taking place.
You'll be the first invited.
Excellent.
So they watch when it happens? No.
This is a very odd culture.
Yes, it is. Mind you, Whisper's probably thinking, like, what the hell did I sign up for?
Well, what do you want to do now? She seems to be leaving.
I did see which way Doran went.
Yes, he went down a set of stairs.
If she's leaving me, then I'm going to go ahead and head down the stairs as well.
You'll see Doran, like, at the bottom of the stairs, not doing anything except, like, looking up them a little bit. Is she gone?
Yes, she's gone, and, I did invite her to the bonding ceremony.
Oh.
And then she's just gonna, like, you see her, like, flatten her ears and, like, lower, like, you know, the, like, look down, like, I don't know what I'm getting into, but...
I'm sorry, I have studied some space-bound culture books. Give me a second here. I believe in your culture it would be equivalent, similar to a marriage bonding?
I figured that's what she would assume, but I don't know.
It's hard to describe these things, but we'll just, why don't we just visit your, friends and we can,
And she's like, yes, like, turn around.
leave
just
the
go.
building. I warned you! I wanted to be drunk first. Just in case. Well, prisoners! Ha-ha! We had captured you. You must fear our mightiness. Oh, you two. Let us, watch over them for a few minutes. Go. It's been a long trip. Grab a quick drink. Grab a quick bite. And then return. We will be here, watching the prisoners. Do not worry. We want to gloat some more. They're kind of look at him. They're like they're not quite buying it, but then they'll like kind of leave because they're like, they look like they probably could use like a break because they just got off the boat and were basically ordered to get back to work.
Nice.
Hello, you two. So, you should be well kept, I'm assuming, because I don't think we've ever had prisoners like you. Will have anything dangerous occur to you. We'll see what we can do.
That does sound promising. Thank you.
All right, then.
I'm taking this opportunity to pull my tools out of my hidey hole.
You mean your...
Nature's pocket.
Ugh.
That's
Glad you're in the cage with him, not me.
How big is this cage exactly?
like 10 by 10. 10 foot
Okay.
cube. 10-foot cube. So,
Hey, I've been in this situation before. I'm sure it's happened before.
and it only has one cot and a single bucket. Yep.
Guess who has the cot?
Guess who takes the pillow?
As if they would provide us a pillow in the prison.
They did not.
It's a good prison if you get a pillow.
Yes.
Exactly. What is this? A freaking holiday
Guess who
Star
takes
Inn?
the blanket?
What
As if
blanket?
they would give us a blanket.
You're not gonna need one. It's tropical. It's hot. Even in here, even like slightly underground.
Guess who takes any straw on the floor and bundles it up into one spot?
Ha!
It's probably sand rather than straw. There's probably sand across the
It's a
floor.
sandbag.
You just like put the sand together in a little pile and like nest up into it.
Guess who strips Olog and sleeps in his and makes a bed out of his clothes while he's sleeping.
I mean, do you really want a naked Olog?
That's all you
do
got.
really?
I'll leave your underwear on.
What underwear?
That's what fur is for.
Exactly, and Olog is a dwarf. He has natural fur.
Yes.
Actually, maybe this will work in Olog's favor.
I don't want to think of Dwarven Bush, thank you.
Well, okay, to be fair, Olog's like me. He's hairy as fuck. So, if you strip him, that works.
Join the club.
Haha. All my hair is like super blonde though, so whatever.
Mine's dark.
I
Ha.
wish mine was dark.
Well, we can dye your body hair. How's that?
There we go.
Hot rod pink.
Problem solved.
Problem solved.
And I think we just grossed out the chat.
Right. Yeah. Would you like to see Hot Rod Frank?
No, I don't think they do.
Yeah. Either way, I don't think my girlfriend would agree with this. So, if she is in chat, well, I'm probably going to,
Gonna hear it.
No, she'll probably egg me on.
Ah.
Varla, you don't have a choice. Varla, expect messages and pictures in your inbox after the show.
Yeah, now I'm thinking Seinfeld when George did the sexy pictures.
That is exactly the picture I'm going to send.
Well then. Anyway. All right. So, moving on. Whisper.
Yes. Bonding ceremonies. No.
Bonding ceremonies. Well, a different kind of
yeah.
bonding ceremony.
Peepholes are reserved for friends and family.
One that involves more booze.
Yes.
You will be
So a proper wedding.
yes. You will be taken to the local watering establishment, where everybody kind of greets Doran. They're like, "Hey, how's it going?" Hey, he's like, "Hey, everyone. Yeah, it's been a while. Sorry I haven't stopped by lately. Business, got a job, working for the greater good of our people." And then everybody kind of cheers for a second, and then he kind of pulls, brings you up to a table, he's like, offers you a chair.
She'll take it, kind of putting it so that she's can see most of the room.
Mm-hmm.
So
There's quite
keep
a
an eye on
menagerie
things.
of things. It seems like a few more reptile types, a few more fish types. It looks like another Triton. A couple other more unusual ones that look a little different. So it's there does seem to be some kind of pattern to it, but there's very interesting differences between them.
Okay.
Maybe mimicking different types of fish, almost.
Okay. Just kind of watching. She's just mostly staying quiet and watching the room, also keeping an eye out for the sister female person.
She does not seem to be here.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to have to play that up more.
Doran will order you a round of drinks and some delicious fish stew.
Not as good as mine.
No, well, you trained with a master, kind of a gross master, but nonetheless he is actually expert chef.
So, what are the plans?
Well, for one, we could somehow convince everyone that your friends are not the enemy, which, most people probably don't recognize that, but folks like my cousin will have to be convinced. We could try to convince the chieftain that we heard testimony from them in just recently, and perhaps they're not part of the forces, they're just explorers. I mean, we might be able to get away with not having bad things happen to them.
That would be preferable.
Well, more than likely, if it's ruled that they truly are the enemy, they'll probably be tortured for information, then eventually sent to the capital for execution.
That's it. Only that.
Well, look, you didn't really show up at a great time for our people.
Apparently.
Look, you, there, this is hard to say. This is really hard to say, but, the Great Exodus. You heard that friend there mention it.
Yes.
Well, it's in fact an ancient plan for declaring war on our old enemies and basically eliminating all of them from space and reclaiming our place.
Okay.
And though there hasn't been stupendous progress over the past couple of generations, nonetheless, there has been plenty over the last couple hundred years that has been planned out. And though I'm optimistic that it will never happen, and it's just a way of keeping our people from focusing on our other problems, the fact that we have terrible planets off in the middle of nowhere that we've been sort of shoved to, because it's true, we are on the, what's the best way to describe it, shithole planets. This place is like 99% water. You can't settle here.
99% shit.
And then, like, 80% giant monsters which devour you like you're a speck of sand. So, I mean, come on. This is not a wonderful place to live. This place is great, but the people here have eked it out after like 1,000 years. So, what do you expect?
Okay, so the Exodus is just a means to try to wage war.
People want to reclaim the stars.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was an excuse for doing it. Build a fleet of ships, power them with the latest generation of the crystals, and train an army and send them out. There was more to that. Apparently, look, I recognize that your kind more than likely is a fringe from space, because I'm fairly certain some distant relatives are amongst our people, the Tabaks. I don't know if you're the same anymore, but that's why I recognized you. There are one group of your kind were amongst our early settlers. So I'm sure you understand there's a lot of tensions out in space, is there not still?
Yeah, there are. The main question is what races are going to try to eliminate essentially what races, though? Like, are you guys just planning on trying to take over everything and anything? Or
more than
specific?
likely, it would be the 3 ancient enemy races.
And those are?
I have to think of the vernacular. We have a different word in our language for it. Human? Elf? And, Dwemf. Your stout friend looked a little bit like a Dwemf.
Dwemf?
I'm sorry.
Dwarf?
That might be it.
Okay. Okay, so... Okay. The little one, the very little one, he's neither of those. Any of those.
He looks like a small of the, elves.
Elves.
Yes.
They're elves. Yes.
He looks
Yes,
like a
and
small one
I
of
am
them.
not a fan of them either. They're kind of dicks, but that's besides the point. You guys are distracting. Some of our people on our planet think that your type of people are kind of demonic. I can't focus, guys. So, what do you think would be the best way to get them out of there without causing any trouble? Because we really just want to get to where our ship is going to meet us. And I don't even know at this point, but probably just get out of here.
Well, anyway. Yes, Streamcat. Hi, Streamcat. Meow.
Streamcat!
Streamcat.
Hey, your cousin showed up.
My kitty cousin.
Yep. Come on, Damien. Please settle down on my lap and stop trying to, like, readjust yourself. It's my lap is not that large. Thank you. Whatever. You're out of view now. Anyway. Alright. Why did you go to the temple? Huh? I mean, this might incite people more. That's the only thing I can say about your presence. It is not a helpful thing in this situation.
Well, we were kind of under the impression that the planet might have been almost uninhabited. Okay. And that there might be some old treasure that had been accumulated. So we heard some rumors, found some maps, found some information, and thought we'd take
Where would you have heard rumors of treasure from?
Oh gosh, where did we hear of that?
Alright.
It was so long ago.
Bring out the old papers for proper references and names.
Yeah. Was it the first ship that attacked us that we found the stuff on?
It was.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so she'll just she's also been, drinking slowly. I would like to be noted that she is not trying to get drunk.
Aww.
Yeah,
No.
I mean...
Too late.
Fun.
Gotta figure out a way to get you guys out. But
Fortunately, you didn't realize how strong this alcohol was.
I'm actually very aware of how strong it is, or isn't. So yeah, she'll just kind of say, well, we were attacked when we were traveling between a couple of planets, and upon that ship there was it was the journal, right?
It was an old journal. Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. There was an old journal that recounted some of the stories of some wars and about the treasures. So we started investigating it further and found ourselves here.
I would have known stories from it. What war?
Huh?
What war would this have been?
Oh, Jesus. Name. That war of things. It was...
I'll give you a second.
Hang on. I know I have it on here. It's in one of these.
Ba, 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 ba.
So many notes.
It was a lower war after a larger one, I will note.
Yeah, and I'm not finding. Hold on. I think I'm
Okay.
coming up.
I'll
Yeah,
be-
because
I'll
I'm
be
not
nice.
finding
Okay.
it.
The major war was the Second Unhuman War, after which there was a smaller skirmish known as the Blood Wars, led by Bloodheart, as he was known. The Skrull commander. Hence why it was named after him.
Yeah, I wasn't finding that. I was finding everything, every other name I could find, including the name of like the Rowdy Comet and the guy that ran it. I'm like, wait, it was before this, after this? Okay, yeah. So she'll let him know that it was the what was it? The Blood War.
Yes.
It's all the way back on like the second page of my notes.
That's a bloody war.
Yeah, it was nasty. So yeah, it was the Blood War. The journal
You're muted,
recounted...
Frank.
Oh, I
Okay.
thought you were saying me for a second. I'm like, what?
Nope.
Oh, I know. I was saying something else. Sorry.
It's okay. I just saw your lips moving, and I'm like,
Yeah, so the Blood War, and it was Thorag Thorin? Is that the name of the guy that the journal was from?
Close enough.
Sweet. That's a name with the Blood War on my paper. So
Yes. Who was also
Okay.
who was known by the moniker Bloodheart.
Ah, okay, that's why.
Yeah.
Blood fart? You should get that checked.
Yeah, so I will relay it was that war that the journal was about, and that's what kind of started us looking through more information.
That name sounds familiar, actually. Maybe I can help you on this quest, but I do not know if it's one that you should continue. But I can give you information if you really choose to do it. You see, I am a person of learned information, much more than many others around here. So I was able to recognize that you're probably not dangerous to begin with. At least not trying to be. Well, some generations ago, a few hundreds of years ago, there was someone that came through the gate. A group of folks that, this is before my time, of course, found refuge with some of our people. They called forth a ship which was heavily damaged with the seeming remains of their people. They apparently had been hunted by some of our own great enemies. So, of course, we helped them out. These strange, green-skinned folks. They went forth to the capital. I do not know much of their story after that, but I know that's where we had sent them to, along with some remains of their ship, which we managed to transport. That was back when it was the old gate system. The ones we have now are much smaller and much more for personal travel. We still do have ships that travel through space, of course, but we do not use them as much ourselves.
Okay.
At least unless we're talking about the fleet, which has never taken flight, which we talked about a little earlier. That, I hope, never does, but we shall see. So perhaps you need to head to the capital yourselves. I mean, if you wanted to, I could travel you through the gate systems. That's easy enough. But you said you had a ship, did you not?
So we have a ship, and there's a crew on it, and as far as I know, they are coming to try to pick us up.
That can be a problem.
When and how, we don't know for sure of the timelines. So it's been a couple days since we spoke to them.
If you wished to take your ship with you, would be a much more difficult thing. Not impossible, but more difficult. Well, perhaps before we worry about that, why don't we worry about helping your friends and then maybe contacting your ship to see about getting you off this planet.
That would be preferable.
All right.
Joe.
So, Ola,
I'm
Kellen,
stuck
what?
in the lock.
You're what are you doing?
I'm just looking at the lock.
Okay, you're investigating the lock. Gotcha. And Olag's muted. That's probably for the best.
I forgot, you know. Apparently I'm naked, so I'm just, you know, in there in like a loincloth, which is Olag's underwear, since Olag has like dark black hair, he just looks like a bear.
Out there!
Yeah, it's actually an owlbear.
Or bear
Yeah,
owl.
he just looks like a fat werewolf type being, just laying on the cot.
Is Kellen drawing him like a French girl?
No, I'm studying a lock.
Draw me like your French women.
I'll draw him
Or
like a
the
gnomish girl.
Je m'appelle François. Je m'appelle Olag. Comment t'appelles-tu?
Le fromage dans ta pantalon.
I will not take off my pants, sir. How dare you?
There is cheese in your pants.
First off, I just took a shower.
Second of all, you're only in a loincloth at the moment.
Anyway, better
But yeah,
note whatsoever.
Olag's sleeping naked on the thing.
Okay. Kellen studying the lock. Whisper, what's
Yes.
your plan? Which one of these plans do you want to take? At least to help them out. Go to the authorities and try to convince them they're not dangerous. Try to convince the authorities that they aren't actually the enemy. Or, I don't know, plan C, something else you can come up with.
Let them get killed in the capital.
Yeah, I'm thinking letting them
Volunteer
get
as
killed.
tribute.
Yes, let them get tortured and then killed.
Okay, so Doran, how long do you think we have to come up with a plan and try to get them out before they start trying to torture and kill them?
Probably
Start there.
at least a day, maybe 2. I mean,
Okay.
they'll probably want to confirm that they look like the enemy, which they do.
Who can confirm this?
Well, the chieftain has knowledge. There are some sages in town. There is our repository of knowledge, which the sages use. I mean, normally most people don't have access to it, but they do use it for information.
So what I'm hearing though is that nobody has actually seen these enemies and know what they look like.
Pictures at most.
That could be to our advantage then. I would like to pull out my books. Do I have... Let's see. I have... In the book of the history of... Let's see, I can't even read the full title because it's like tiny on my page for some reason. Why won't you get any larger? I don't know.
That's what
It says Book of the History of the Unhuman Wars in there.
Uh-huh.
Can I flip through it real quick and see if there are any pictures of elves, humans, half-orcs, like...
You can probably find illustrations of... you could probably find an illustration of an elf, maybe describing, like, a section that's probably describing their weaponry, their ships, probably their armor that they used for it.
Okay. Do I find anything of half-orcs?
Not really, no.
Hey, off my table. No, don't complain. You're not supposed to be on my table. There's no table.
All right, then if I look through there real quick, I just kind of want to flip through and see if I see anything. Well, who do you think would be the easiest to convince?
Well, I've never had too much problems with High Chief Tolan. He's usually a reasonable person to speak to. My cousin, on the other hand, is fairly... I wouldn't call him dumb, just not educated the same.
Okay. Easily persuaded.
Easily persuaded of information that he's not familiar with.
Okay.
We'd have to make it believable, though. The only thing I could think of to excuse them because they look a lot like them is maybe their cousin races. We understand this thing of races that are close to each other. Perhaps we can explain your small friend as a small version of the elves, you said? Yes, I believe you did.
Elves.
Maybe his type is oppressed. And, he was just exploring the universe away from the oppressors, from those that are worse. And, perhaps his compatriot is, of a type that is driven into the mountains of the dwarves.
That's actually very accurate. Very good.
And the other dwarves drive them deep underground, away from the light where they must hide. And he's escaped and joined with your small sub-elf friend.
Sub-elf friend. I'm sorry, you guys are being made into, like, extreme minorities.
The funny thing is Oleg was eventually going to use... Well, no, he was going to use, like, yes, the way that you're pronouncing dwarf sounds a lot like Druger. Yes, we hate them too. Fuck them.
Fuck those guys. That could be true. Okay. I'm thinking the chieftain would be a better bet. Only because if somebody were to try to speak out against him and challenge his ruling, at least we'd already have him on our side, as opposed to having somebody else on our side and the chieftain saying, no, kill them anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So, how would we go about getting a meeting with the chieftain?
Well, I mean, we could go up there now and see if he's free to talk.
You just walk in and...
Sure.
Hey?
I mean, we could just do it, or we could arrange to bring the prisoners before him to plead their case, and then maybe try to convince him. Would your associates be good examples for pleading them?
No.
I would be.
Yes, but unfortunately, I think it's an all-or-nothing deal, Kellen.
Yeah, true.
Do you really want Oleg pleading your case?
Well, see, he's a clone.
Four score and 7 years ago, all forefathers killed yours by accident.
Or sport 7 beards ago.
He has at least 3 beards, guys. Come on. This is for all dwarves. It's common knowledge.
Yeah. So, okay. So, I really like my friends, but I'm gonna have to say no. Their collective personality would not gain us any favor. I think they would cancel each other out, to put it politely.
You don't say.
But...
Yeah. Would probably cancel each other out.
Probably.
Even negate some of my efforts.
As we just start bickering.
Yeah.
And Three Stooges music plays in the background.
Yeah.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah. Alright then. So.
Before we go.
Okay.
Doran, is there anything I should know about the chieftain? Is there any specific way to address him? Is what I'm wearing appropriate to be in his presence. I want to make the best case possible.
You'll probably be fine.
Allow me to change. I do still have the fancy clothes in my bag.
Okay.
So I will just step into like a... I don't know, do they have bathrooms? Or like in a side room or something?
They probably have something like a place like with a chamber pot of some type.
Okay. Yeah, just kind of like step in, change, make myself look as like upstanding as possible.
And all of a sudden, Kellen appears next to you.
Yep.
Because you're in a bathroom.
Yes.
That's how it happens, actually.
That's how he
That's
escapes.
almost how they're born, right? Gnomes.
Yeah, we come out of bathrooms
Apparently.
with tabaxis, specifically.
Yes. Yes. That's exactly how they're put into existence.
They're created.
Anytime a tabaxi enters a bathroom alone,
A gnome is born.
Gnome is born.
Spawned? A gnome is spawned?
Yep.
Hey, how you doing?
So basically, what you're saying, gnomes are little shits.
Big shits if it's, been a good day.
Yeah.
Well, I am 2 feet tall. That's a big shit.
That is a big shit. Alright. Then, yeah, once I get changed and, I'll kind of do like just make sure I look, like I said, as much upstanding as I can kind of gather with what I have to work with.
Okay.
then-
All right. You'll be taken to the larger building, like up at the top of this city. Like the entire like section of this island kind of crescendos up to this kind of hill, and you've got a very large like 4-story building up there with all kinds of interesting designs to them. Kind of plants hanging down here and here, built into the design almost. Like very big columns out front.
Question.
Sure.
What is the chieftain's name?
I said it. It's Tolan.
Tolan. Okay.
Alright, you are taken basically inside, and the first thing is like a large circular chamber, kind of surrounded by sandstone columns, where there's all kinds of little chairs and pillows spread out amongst it, with the kind of like open area in the center. There's a large number of folks kind of moving about here, doing things. Some people are sitting around. You'll see sort of brought into the center here with you're basically brought there by Doran. Dolan! Hey! Are you busy? I have some business to discuss. You'll see this kind of green-skinned person. He kind of has like this kind of long nose, very pointed ears, kind of like slightly fanged teeth and claws, except he's about like 7 feet tall. He kind of like moves over to you. He's kind of got this kind of like white light clothing kind of over on top of him. He wears this kind of like funny little hat on top of his head as he's kind of got scraggly hair. He's like, Doran, so great to see you once again. A newcomer to the village. Greetings, Tabax, and welcome to Seaside. I hope you have been enjoying your stay.
It's been quite wonderful. Doran here has just been showing me the lay of the land and meeting some of the locals.
Excellent, excellent. Well, what business do you have with me this day, Doran? I heard you had great success capturing possible enemies. Yes. We wanted to discuss that. We had talked to them, and I'm one for getting a good judge of people. I really am. I get a feeling from my discussions with them that they're not related to our ancient enemies. Well, I'm not saying that they might not be related to them. What I'm meaning is we captured non-military personnel. Yeah, right?
Yes, I believe they are simple explorers, perhaps just visiting and escaping some oppressive leaders on their own hometowns, home worlds.
If they are indeed refugees who decided to explore the universe, I cannot condone treating themselves as warriors. Perhaps we should investigate this in a different manner. I could bring forth the shamans. I do not wish to make a deal with them, but it might be prudent. One of them could perhaps create a zone of truth and determine if they are truly speaking the truth about themselves. That would answer any doubts in our minds about them. You were right to come to me. Old hatreds would have pushed us forward to something that might not have been needed. And, I was willing to go along. So, come now. Let us celebrate your return. And, if it is a victory or a saving, we will find out in a few days. I will send for the shaman. But come. Perhaps some drink and food for the two of you. You shall be my guests for tonight.
Sweet.
I will make sure to send at least a decent meal to our prisoners. We will not be cruel, even if they are lying and true warriors. We will stand taller. Hey, guess what, guys?
That's easy to do against me.
Yes. You get a very nice meal delivered to you, along with a blanket.
Woo!
A blanket.
A single blanket.
A single blanket.
Need a blanket. He's got the bed. I'm using the
Yeah, I was
blanket.
gonna say, Oleg's like, oh yes, you should take the blanket.
I give you your clothes back.
He's also extremely hairy, so he doesn't really need a
put it
blanket.
on. What's the temperature here? It's the tropics. This is
Yeah.
hot.
Yes.
Oleg likes the cold. It's good for his joints.
Okay.
Speaking, we are in the tropics, though.
Yeah, speaking of, you are in the tropics. Anyway. So, all of you have a wonderful meal and a wonderful night. And is there anything you two want to do? Any of you want to do over the next day?
I would definitely like to find out more about the gates and all of that, so that once we do get them out, we can start planning that next phase.
I will have some. You'll learn some information through Doran that I will help provide you when you are ready for that phase.
I'm going to study the guards
Okay.
and their rotations.
Okay.
I'm preparing for the worst case scenario.
Yep. I would also at some point go and just stop by and tell Oleg and Kellen the gist of what's going to be happening, so that they are aware of they will be put in a zone of truth and told to answer questions.
I mean,
Don't lie.
Oleg
Please.
wasn't gonna lie anyways.
Only lie. Got it.
We're so screwed. We're so screwed.
I only speak the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
So
do we
screwed.
really want Oleg in a zone of truth?
Nope. But I don't see any really other way of doing this.
Tell us your story.
6 hours later. Please,
Oh,
shut up.
gosh.
Well, I was thinking like 2 days
258
later.
years ago.
The zone of truth wears off after is it only like an hour?
It's 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
10
10
minutes.
Yeah.
He's still speaking 2 days later.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Alright,
Yeah.
then you'll go through the day, and about a little before what would probably be noon on the second day, it's getting very hot out. Kellen, you and Oleg are basically, once again, bound up, escorted through the rest of the city to the large building, where you're basically, with a number of guards around, put in the center of a large room, big circular room, all kinds of pillars, then kind of cushions and chairs kind of ringing you, where you see, like, now there is that kind of, like, pointed nose, kind of green skin guy kind of sitting at the back with a Doran and Whisper next to him on very comfy cushions, and, like, maybe 24 other folks kind of ringed around you.
It's the Space Pope.
Space Pope.
Don't know where the Pope is.
Great shaman, please bring forth your magic so that we may know the truth this day. Are these refugees or enemies? You see this kind of like craggly older gentleman with kind of like a long beard. It's kind of hard to tell what he is because he's kind of got like white hair all over his face, kind of like rags, strange bones and stuff hanging down from him. He's kind of got a big walking stick with, like, it looks like a whole bunch of different fish heads kind of hanging down from it that sort of clack and clatter when he kind of moves. He's got the obvious, like, giant hunch, you know. It's like, he kind of, like, pulls out this kind of clawed fingers, which he's only got, like, he's got, three fingers and a thumb, so he's kind of, like, pointing them out. He points a single finger towards you, casts some kind of spell, apparently, and then says, "Dare to speak your truth."
What?
Alright, I guess if you really want to, make a charisma saving throw.
I won't bother.
Okay.
Yeah, because they'll know.
I mean, Oleg's not resisting, but I mean, he's not gonna lie no matter what.
Okay.
I know, that's the problem. So, I was like, oh,
travelers, why did you come to our planet?
To escape the planet we were on.
Why did you escape?
Backstory.
Because it was dangerous.
Well, that's his reason. My reason's actually quite different. See, most of my life I've been a scholar, and I intend to die a scholar and collecting knowledge of all sorts. Surely one such as you. By the way, can we get together after this and discuss the differences between our religions? Would you be okay? That's for another time. Now, his reasons are different than mine. I am just seeking knowledge of all sorts because it's fascinating. There's just so much that we just don't know. I'm a simple mortal. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm a simple mortal. And there's just so much to know. Look at that star over there. And he just like points up towards the ceiling. It's like, how was that created? Was it the gods? Was it nature? Was it man? He's going to keep going on until someone shuts him up.
yeah, I figured. You just see Whisper, like, cringing so bad, like, just like,
After about 2 minutes, the man will be like, "Perhaps your friend should speak. You said you came from a dangerous planet.
Yes,
Tell me of this world."
I believe it was the air world that's in this system.
Why were you there?
We heard of a legend of treasure that may have been there.
Stories of our system? I did not think such things existed deep within the annals of legend. Do others know of this legend?
Not that we know of. Other than our shipmates.
Shipmates?
We came we came to the other planet on a ship. But we got trapped in what I believe may be an old city of yours. We met a woman there who was similar to your people. She said your people had traveled here long ago.
Oh yeah, she was quite nice. She made us soup.
A survivor on the old planet. How unusual. I did not know someone decided to stay behind and did not lose their mind.
I'll describe what she looked like.
A minor. Perhaps an old relative of the king, of the royal family. They would. That might explain why they would have stayed. Only the king is known to enjoy travel of his people. Fascinating. How very interesting. Tell me of your ship.
We are traders, but when we heard of the legend that from the old wars that orcs may have left treasure behind there, it piqued our interest.
What is an orc?
I will describe what an orc looks
quite
like.
a much larger version of yourself.
My ancestors were much larger than me. This is true. I have heard tales of their great size and strength.
Oleg just like puts a finger up real quick. It's like, would you allow me to have a paper and quill so that I might take notes? I would actually much like to hear about your ancestry.
This is not a time for me to speak of my ancestry, but to you to speak of yours.
Ah, well, my ancestry goes back quite a long.
Gosh. You brought this on yourself.
You really did. Smaller one.
Yes?
Speak of your crew. What sort of creatures are you? All the same as you two?
No, I would say we're a motley crew.
Motley?
We are all different species.
Yeah, it's also quite a good band.
I would say there are many different types of creatures on our crew. I'll describe some. I'll actually also describe our hippo guy.
Okay.
And our insectoid guy. I'll try to focus in on some of the more animalistic ones.
I have never heard of these creatures. Fascinating. We do not have. They don't have anything mantis-like in their society.
What?
No.
But I figured describing things that are of that kind of nature might be better.
Yeah.
Very. Yes, very interesting. So.
We come from all walks of life, and we do not discriminate.
So it seems. What will you do if you leave this place?
Find our shipmates.
You seem genuine. And perhaps not a danger. But there's little trust if, as it seems, some of your race is our great enemies. But simple traitors and explorers of treasure are not dangers to us per se. But you have found our worlds, and this is a dangerous information. Fortunately, you've only found this world. There is nothing of value for even our great enemies to fight. And should we need to, we would run, and you would not find us.
I can quite assure you I am not much of a fighter.
You are of elder age, it seems, of your type.
Yes, quite so. Being a venerable such as myself, I quite pride myself on my sturdiness, one might say.
Advanced years.
Sturdiness.
Oh, that's what they're called. Sturdiness. Got it.
Sturdiness. Got it. Yes.
Got it.
Because he doesn't,
Yeah.
die.
Yes.
Or spryness.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, well, that is for the ladies to find out.
All the dwarven ladies go, hey-oh, ha-oh.
Oh no, he's like looking over at the cat, saying like, what other research can we do?
Yeah. All right.
Not that kind.
All right. Return them to the cells. I will have my decision by this evening. I will consult the people here. I believe I have enough information about these travelers.
I'm
Well,
going
just
to.
like raises his hand.
What do you want?
Yes, would you allow me to interview some of your people? If it is true that our people have been separated for millennia, it seems, there is much of each other that we could be able to learn. And I'd be willing to share any information about my people with your people, if they so wish. I believe in good record keeping.
And he just keeps going on until someone stops him.
They're gonna just start taking you back to the cell as you speak.
I'm going to just give a slight.
Oh, he's definitely going to talk to the bailiff then.
And say we await your wise decision.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll let myself be let out.
Doran will go over to talk to you, whisper, and be like, "Well, that went well."
Maybe better than I expected.
Okay.
They didn't screw it up. And she's just gonna be like, let's just say I know my group. They're yeah. It could have gone worse if the wrong question had been asked.
That's wonderful to hear. Okay. Wow. You've got some great friends there.
Yeah, they're nice guys. They're special. Yeah. They're special. It's the only word for it.
Okay. So Olag, you and Callum will be taken back to your cell, where you will be given another nice meal. Whisper, you will be taken back to. Actually be taken to another tavern. This one seems a little more upper scale, maybe a little nicer.
Aw, not more seedy.
Less seedy, yes.
Less seedy.
Less seedy.
Dang.
Yeah. You will be, Doran will get you a nice meal. You'll be discussing it, kind of moving into the evening, and he'll be like, look, regardless of how this goes, I've had an enjoyable time hanging out with you, and you seem like a very nice girl. Why travel with them some more? They seem like crazy guys. Why don't you stay around here? I'm sure we can get you a nice place to settle. And you seem like you'd have some great skill when it comes to hunting giant beasts and stuff, too. Great stories and things to find out.
I was wondering what skills he was going to go for. You have some great skills. Hunting beasts. Yes.
Uh-huh.
As flattering as that is, I would eventually like to return to my home planet. My goal for originally leaving was to collect stories to return with. I've gotten quite a few to be honest. I've gotten quite a few to last a while. So at this point, getting home would be preferable, I think.
But I'm just gonna throw this out here. We think usually in a more long-term plans. Maybe perhaps you'll want to settle down and plan to eventually have perhaps a generation or two from now take these stories back for you to show them that the universe isn't so small in a more interesting way.
Being hit on by a weird cat or a weird fox person.
Don't you want to have little cocks?
Yeah.
TOX.
Yes.
How about we just leave it open-ended for now. Because I would like to see how things go tomorrow. I'm not going to say it's off the table, but I'm not heavily entertaining the idea at the moment. And she's just going to kind of like sip her drink like, please move on. It's not where I wanted to go this evening.
Are you sure it's not where you wanted to go this evening?
She's just thinking like, how the hell are we going to get off this planet? Like...
Alright, it'll be a nice evening, and eventually someone will come to you. A kind of like runner, and he'll like kind of move up to you. Excuse me, Chief Tolan has made his decision.
Okay. I guess we have to go...
Sure. Check him out.
Yep.
I have considered things greatly, and it seems like they speak of the truth, that these are not enemies of ours. At least not directly. This is not to say that their kind has been a danger to us. So, they will be freed from the jail, but they will be under supervision as long as they are here. And, Doran, perhaps you and your new Tabix friend can assist them in finding a way back to their vessel. A way that would reveal as little as possible of our own locations. Doran would be like, I did perhaps have a plan. I was thinking if we could bring them into the old port. It might work. It would be dangerous, but it would be out of the way enough that, should there be a danger to it, it wouldn't be easy for them to find us exactly. And as we all know, it's not safe to fly around as much as it is to, well, sail around. So, of course, well, perhaps you are correct then. All right. You have my permission. Thank you, sir.
And Whisper will also like give like a deep bow and thank him.
Oh, well, that went better than I thought. Still, you all might die. We'll try our best. We're going to be doing something dangerous. Let's go get your friends.
Sounds like a plan.
You guys are freed from jail.
Hey, I get a thing, guys. I got you
Olog
out.
got clothes on finally.
I mean, does he though?
No.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he was answering questions in his loincloth.
I mean,
Proudly
he
as
didn't
well.
get dressed, so. And that's what won the case. He's gonna talk with that chieftain later, if you know what I mean. Research.
Are you sure you don't want to make
interview.
little fox creatures?
No, the chieftain was a goblin, I thought. Or goblinoid, at least.
No.
No, it was a lizard person.
It wasn't.
No,
a
I thought it was a
either.
green guy.
He was green.
He was green, but probably
Well,
lizard.
you know, Olag is blind as fuck.
And also, it's a male, so there wouldn't be any procreation
No
per
babies.
se.
Hey,
That we know of.
you don't know that.
I guess you could attempt things.
Do male dwarfs
Exactly.
get pregnant?
We haven't tested everything.
Probably for the better.
All right. You'll be accompanied to the seedy bar that the two of you, you Whisper and Doran went to earlier, and they'll take Olag and Kellen with you this time.
Yeah.
There's like a mixture. Like most people don't even register that they're there, and there's a couple that give them kind of like a couple of glances, like, "What are those things?" You know, to like Olag
What do
and
you mean,
Kellen.
those things?
Well, you get that glance of like
Like the second look, like what?
yeah,
What do you mean, you?
yeah.
You know what they mean.
You know what they mean.
I'm totally normal. I don't know what you mean at all.
Exactly.
Exactly. You're treated to some fine ale and fish stew.
Ooh,
Not as good as mine still.
it's the fishiest.
It is very fishy.
Ugh.
So, we should probably leave around dawn tomorrow. We'll be going to the old port. It's not an easy trek. We're going to have to go into the old tunnels, which is not too difficult of a journey. I'm sure we can commission a apparatus to take us there.
Apparatus.
Yes.
That's a very strange choice of words.
Eyebrows raised.
Yeah.
Do you have apricots?
A what now?
What?
You said that we would have an apparatus. That usually involves apricots.
Kellen just gives you a side eye. I'm like, what the hell?
He's special.
No, machine of some sort, sir. Machines.
Ah, yes.
Well,
Yes, they're used to make pies. Apparatus pies.
Nope.
I can make an apparatus that throws pies.
Why would you throw a perfectly good pie?
what is this pie you speak of?
Well, you see, you take fruit and put it in dough.
Hold on, Whispers. I imagine Whispers saying there, still in her fancy clothes, by the way. She's been wearing them the whole time. Like, just drinking and, like, watching them, like, almost questioning, like, why did I break them back out of jail? Maybe I should have taken the bonding offer.
Why did you free Olag?
Hey, he does seem to have some kind of title.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I could just be living like a queen and
Yeah, you know.
hunting monsters and...
Getting some kind of noble family, you know?
Whoa, getting ahead of yourself.
Anyway.
I'm sure that's what he thought too.
Anyway.
Might still happen.
Might still happen. So, we will head into the old tunnels, which should be abandoned, though there might be some old defenses there. It was where one of the old gates was. The gate is inactive now, but it is near to the old port, which we should access from there.
Cart ride?
No, it will cart ride?
He's like,
I'll explain the thing that we wrote on in the other place.
Fascinating. Guess that's how our ancestors handled that. Huh. Interesting. There's something a little more advanced in the capital that's similar to that, though. A little more efficient.
Ooh.
Ah, yes, a gondola.
Hanging from the ceiling? Odd.
It's
Anyway.
difficult to get it going.
Well, regardless, though, no. We'll be walking.
Not as much fun.
Well, the tunnels will lead into some old caverns, strange places that our ancestors discovered. And for safety, we built the port near there. It should still work. I'll grab a few crystals just in case. We should at least have enough magical energy to allow your ship to dock and to signal it.
Sounds good.
yeah, it sounds great.
Theoretically.
Before we go, should we restock on any supplies, or do we need anything else specific?
Well,
I would definitely like to get more rope and more rations.
Definitely right.
supplies
And
should
water.
be around. What kind of funding do you have?
I'm gonna pull out the 5 old coins I found.
Oh.
Those are the evil coins.
These should still work, I guess. They seem classic. Very old, but should still work.
Old money.
I also show him the gold that we use, because I have some of that.
Unusual
don't have-
designs. Huh. It also... he'll kind of bite into it. Yeah, should still work also, I believe.
That's our food. Do not eat it. Currency, not food.
Yeah.
We're not Jewish. These aren't those gold coins.
Also, perhaps we could exchange information or stories or other other less currency monetary items.
That might work with some of the fishermen, or perhaps one of the sages, but the merchants will probably not work with them.
Okay.
Maybe if you have some items to trade, that might work.
You seemed to have some status. Do you not have any additional sway with the merchant class?
I mean, I know a few of them, but not on such a personal level that I would have, let's say, sway. I at least can help in exchanging your strange currency with them. It is gold. So,
and silver and copper.
Just strangely designed.
Question. What kind of, you said there's a couple different taverns.
Yes. You've been to 2 of them. You've been to the one that you feel like is more, would be best described as like a sailor's tavern, but in this case it's probably a fisherman's tavern.
Okay.
And the other one was just sort of like, it seemed like a nice place where couples tend to go.
Nice. He took me to a date night.
Yeah. Awesome. Which you really didn't realize until a little later on it was date night.
Yeah, which I didn't realize. Okay, I'm gonna just kind of throw this out there. Would there be, and I'm gonna lean into it, would there be a local tavern that I could perhaps earn some coins at for performing perhaps some local songs from where I come from that would pull in some interest?
You could probably ask to keep here. Sometimes he has a musician or 2, but we don't have a lot in town normally. It's not a job that we regularly have. At least most people that come and visit don't stay around. Usually they're people coming to visit from the capital for old relatives or something and perform.
Yes, and what of healers?
Healers?
Yes, I am a healer.
The shamans usually take care of anything that's needed. Otherwise, just a little bit of...
shamans and assist.
And he just walks off in a random direction.
Okay.
He doesn't know where he's going, but he'll find out.
Okay.
Probably not.
Probably not.
What about pickpockets?
I mean, we don't need much. We really just need some rations and some rope. I don't think we need much more beyond that, except perhaps, Kellen, you might want some additional supplies for your crafts?
If they have anything that would be useful. I don't know if this society would. I have a total of 19 gold, 15 silver, and 2 copper.
I have 9 silver. That's it.
You have a gold coin that I gave you for the old place, remember?
Yeah, but I'm not counting that as currency because that is shiny and neat. So,
I have 15 gold.
Aren't you special?
Well, between us, we have 30 then. Well, 32.
And I have 1 shiny that Whisper once put into my alms box.
Yes. Chink, chink, chink. Fine.
Turns out it's like a platinum coin or something.
Yeah. Good times.
Is a Tribu beak worth anything?
I guess, actually, maybe?
There you go.
You could probably trade it for something.
I got a Tribu beak.
Yeah. So, Whisper will perform. Olag will wander the streets for, like, I don't know how many hours he wants to wander the streets.
I mean, he is going to ask around, like, hey, where are your healing huts?
Healing.
Where are your healing huts?
I mean,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good sir, where are your healing huts?
Good sir, I am looking to work as a healer. Where would your healing huts be, you savage?
You will discover that apparently no one understands quite the concept of healing huts, but they say the shamans are in the jungle, outside the city. About half a day's journey.
And off Olag wanders, never to be seen again. So much for breaking him out of jail.
I'm gonna go search and see what wares are in town, and if there are anything is there anything I can use?
Most of the shops are probably like basic wares that people might need from around, fishing gear and things like that. There's a lot of fishing stalls. It seems to have a wide variety of fish. It seems like each stall is basically fished from a different area nearby, to catch certain types of fish and stuff like that. So it seems like people tend to specialize. There does seem to be a couple of places with unusual things that you've never seen. But when you inquire about it, they seem incredibly expensive, like beyond yours. The person only tells you they are items from the capital. There are like a couple places where you do see items that might be useful to your gear. Most of them just seem incidental, like, oh, that could be useful. There is sort of a general supply shop, too.
Okay. I'm basically just scouting and see what we can get at this point, and then once
it's very, very late at night when you.
Oh, he's not actually going into the jungle.
Okay.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle.
No, he would like construction sites or anything like that. Anyone like working manual labor, he would actually offer assistance, not in actually helping them with the manual labor, but like using guidance if someone hurts themselves, be like, oh, here, have the healers.
You can probably find some people doing some kind of work.
Have a band-aid.
It seems like you can find some people that seem to be fixing up what it looks to be a small wall somewhere. It looks like you can find out it was like storm damage from the last big storm.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be like, oh yes, I can. Do you know of magic?
He'll like twiddle his thumbs and like fire, like a light will glow in it. Of course I do.
Ah, yes. Do you know the guidance spell? I could assist with spiritual success.
You've been studying shamanism. Oh, fascinating. We only summon the arts of the weave.
Interesting. Well, I personally am a cleric. I guess your people might call it a shaman. My people might have once called it a shaman too. I will have to read on that. Now, I can give you a 1d4 advance on any ability score. That's it.
And just off on his own tangent.
Yeah. Fourth wall down. He'll just be like, ah, yes, I could, using my divine powers, lend assistance to your people by making them more efficient at their work.
Fascinating. And you would do this to help us?
Yes. And if you would like to,
he holds up the alms box.
if your people would like to donate afterwards, I would be much appreciated. As I am quite new in town.
And he once again just keeps going and going and going and going.
Okay.
2 hours later.
Yeah.
He wakes up in the jungle anyways.
Probably.
Apparently.
In the jungle, the
Alright, you will be able to get a couple of small donations. You'll get like maybe 10 silver coins, we'll say.
I'm more than okay with that.
Whisper, you can perform for a while, and roll me a performance actually.
A performance?
Yes.
I would be performing. I have my recorder, so I would probably be using a little bit of that.
Okay.
So I'll just.
Okay.
Not terrible.
Yeah. You can get. Give me a second here, and I'm gonna roll a die for you. We'll do 6 silver.
Woo!
Oh, and I want to see if anyone was interested in the tree moving.
Some guy that seems to have like unusual, like what almost looks like bones and stuff of fish, and occasionally like some like weird kind of objects, will be willing to buy it off of you for what appears to be like a gold of his.
Okay.
He's gonna like look at it very fascinatingly. It's like it's a pretty decent sized beak too, because like from a medium bird that was like actually like hunting. So he's like,
We defeated this beast.
He's just gonna kind of like grunt and like kind of go along with you. He's kind of like scarred. He looks like he's also kind of. He looks like more like a Triton, you know. He's like missing an eye, got scars across it, you know. It looks pretty nasty, you know. He's kind of gotten beat up, you know.
Out of game, I have a halfling friend who probably would bond with you very well.
They do crazy stuff together. So the one of them's a rogue and the other kind of looks like some kind of hunter.
Yes.
All right. All of you will reconvene with a couple more little bits of money towards the morning. You were informed by Dorian to meet him.
Whoa. Back up 1 second. At
Okay.
the end of the night, I would have stayed with Doran.
Okay.
Like, just hanging around, because I'm making sure he's not going anywhere.
Okay. He will invite you back to his place then. If
Of course he
Sexy
will.
time.
Probably.
I performed really well, man.
Uh-huh.
That's what he said.
That's probably what he would say if someone would ask.
Keeping an eye on him.
Yes.
Because you said he can travel pretty far.
He can.
And very fast, so.
Yes. Alright, by the morning, of course, all of you will reconvene. Doran will tell you he will head down to the docking area in order to arrange everything and get it ready. To get the apparatus ready. He'll inform you where to go, and it seems to be a different area of the docks than you came in from. Like, vastly different. Like, if we're saying you came in, like, a southern direction, and going straight north would lead you up to the hill, he's, like, saying, go west side of town, basically. Think of it that way.
Okay.
Got it. Also, looking through my stuff, I do have a few other things I could probably trade.
Okay.
Because I have a ring and 2 pieces of random jewelry.
Okay. You could probably trade that for some goods, supplies. What kind of supplies do you want to get for them?
Well, we wanted to get some rope.
Rope's fine.
Probably like 200 feet, 100 for each, since we probably use most of ours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you want some too, Olog? Do you need rope?
I mean,
We'll
I'd
just
be
mooch off ours.
okay with some rope.
Okay, 300 feet of rope. We'll get
Okay.
100 feet each.
Okay. Yep.
Rations.
Uh-huh. How many?
At least 5 days for each of us, so 15 days total.
Okay.
And I want to see if there's anything I can find that's useful for possibly making some more gunpowder, if possible.
Yeah.
You can find some materials that you think you could make a little bit out of. It might take a little longer of a process, though. It looks like you find some stuff that you're like, I might be able to refine.
I'll have to refine stuff to actually make it useful.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Olag, Whisper, anything you guys were looking for?
I mean, I would definitely shop, but not looking for anything in particular. Like, maybe if there's small trinkets and stories.
You could probably find a couple small trinkets.
Ooh, trinkets.
Yeah.
Oleg is definitely like walking around with his journal and quill, and he's basically interviewing people on the side of the road.
Okay. Kellen, the person will be willing to trade one of the pieces of jewelry for the rope and the rations.
Okay. Done.
Done. I do have. Let me see. I have that
And-
almanac.
How much is the gunpowder material going to be?
We'll say you could probably get that for another piece of jewelry. Plus, you might be able to. The person's like, if you want a little more something else, I could probably add that in.
Okay, if I see anything that I can, work with, like maybe some scrap metal or something, I'll.
You can probably find a couple small items that might
Okay.
be helpful to your junk. Not a huge amount of it, though.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. If all of you are done, then you will head down to the docks eventually, having gathered together some stories, some trinkets, and some rations and rope and other supplies. You'll be led to an area where it seems like a lot of empty docks. You are going to see like a bunch of people moving around, like moving boxes and stuff. You're going to see Doran kind of standing near what appears to be like this empty docking area, kind of like looking around. He's like, "Oh, you're early. Excellent, excellent. The apparatus should be arriving shortly."
What is this apparatus you're talking about?
It is most likely a breathing apparatus. Don't be a fool, Jesus.
Wow. Easy, killer. You spent
like,
one night in jail and now you're a complete jerk. Jeez.
I thought it had
It's
to
like,
do with
he has like a
apricots.
shiv.
Man.
Do you have any cigarettes?
I thought it had to do with apricots, sir.
Kellen, what did you do to him in there?
He
Don't want to know.
Ola got a new prison tattoo.
He's
Yeah.
just like all tatted up. He has like a teardrop.
I totally did that for you. Here, let me show you what we normally do in prison.
He has like a
That
shiv
didn't
made
sound
out
right.
of like half a toothbrush.
And some old
He just like casually walks by, whisper, and just goes cha 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 with the shiv, the stacker of
Just
shit,
shakes
and then
her.
just like walks away so casually.
Can't shake me. I got you out of jail.
Look, once you win the system, you win the system for life. Oh wait, no, that's not.
Once you're in the system, you're in the system for life.
Oh god. Thug Olag.
So long.
Olag. This is how Whisper killed Olag.
He's just like reading his journal, making sure like all his notes are proper. So he's extra snippy now.
Okay. A
Grumpy
couple
pig.
minutes later, you are going to see some kind of bubbling come from the water. As, like, this two kind of metal limbs reach out, almost like giant claws, grabbing two parts of the dock, pulling out what appears to be a large metal cylinder. About the size of 2 wagons long.
I'm going to bang on it.
Oleg just like motions with his quill and then looks at Whisper and be like, "I told you."
You see, like, you hear this kind of metal creaking noise. As there's a clong. So...
Oh, I also need to get some pints of oil. I just
Okay.
remembered.
Doran, you have need of a new apparatus. As this kind of snake-looking fellow emerges. Behold, my latest one. Twice, nearly 50% longer than your average apparatus. And it
Oh, that's what it
consumes
is.
less magic crystal. Much more efficient.
Ooh, I'm going to pull out one of the broken crystals I still have. Well, not broken, but unpowered crystals I still have.
One of these broken pieces of shit.
It takes these?
Where'd you get those? Those are antiques.
Collectibles.
So inefficient nowadays.
But similar.
I mean, less morbid nowadays. Oh, thank you.
No, do you have another box?
I don't. I'll give you one later. I'll look for one, okay?
There's none in here. It's empty. Go ahead and finish.
I'll try to find one for you.
After we get in, I'm going to ask if I can like look at the engine room. I won't tinker. I just want to study.
There really isn't an engine room. I guess if you guys want to
Or
give me...
power room.
Someone wants to give me an Arcana roll.
There is here somewhere.
100% Oleg would.
I totally don't know.
I mean, I have a 0 in Arcana, but hey.
Yeah.
I think I'm the Arcana one, aren't I?
7.
Yeah, I have a +2.
Oh, I only have a +2 as well.
Okay.
No.
You're like, I don't know, this thing's kind of weird.
Yes,
Can I study
you
the
explain
power?
this to me?
There seems to be like a front with like a series of levers and like big kind of glass almost eyes. And then like an entire back area with a number of like seating. which maybe you could fit like 10, maybe squeeze like 15 medium-sized creatures in here.
I'm gonna sketch out what I can see of the control panel.
There also seems to be like a hatch in a portion of the bottom. There's that hatch on the top roof. You know, it's just like a series of like levers and switches and stuff. It looks like.
I'm still gonna sketch everything out, and
So
I'm also gonna compare it to the notes that I have of the other machinery I've seen in the past.
This looks very different from it.
Okay.
So, heading down to the old tunnels, eh? I can drop you off and perhaps wait for a couple of days. I have some supplies. I was planning to stay down later until I got your message. I was exploring some of the old collapsed ruins from the last storm. The Sunkens are very interesting. Things that we thought were lost. There are always dangers down here, let me tell you. As you begin to dive down deep into the ocean in the strange apparatus. And we'll end it here for today.
Oh, shit, son. Where are we going?
To the depths of the ocean.
You're going under the sea.
Under
the sea.
Down where it's better. Down where it's wetter.
In
If you know what I mean.
a giant kind of cylindrical
Submarine.
lobster creature?
Is it a rock lobster?
No, it's a steel lobster.
It's steel lobster. I mean, what do you call it?
Not
What's
as,
going on?
not as fun.
I mean, come on, he explained it. It was metal. Come on, it's not raw.
Man,
That
come
would
on,
be
man.
stupid. Come on, dude.
That would just be stupid.
Rock lobsters are more fun.
Rock lobster.
Rock
Oh.
lobster?
It doesn't
Oh,
beat
God.
scissor lizard or paper tiger.
Rock beats scissors.
What was the word that you just used before?
Apparatus?
No. The other word.
Large apparatus.
Lobster?
Bird. Because the bird is the word.
Oh.
Bird, 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 is the
Bird.
bird. True moo is the word. Tree moo.
Alright.
And that's the end of the show, guys.
Yes, that's the show. Okay, let's start with Old Hog. Anything you want to support for today?
Hi. I'm Olag, also known as Control Alt Frank. You can find me at Control Alt Frank on Twitch and Twitter. I'm a big dumb, and I thought my D&D game that I'm running for the Space Viking community was today. However, that is next week. I'm just really bad with dates. I was thinking it was the 22nd yesterday. It was like, oh my god, I gotta get everything ready. So I was like rushing. It's like, oh god, I'm not gonna be on time. So, like I was saying, I'm Controller Frank. I'm the community manager for the Space Viking Gaming. I have no idea what Joe's doing, but I assume it has something to do with being a crab.
Yeah.
He's very crabby, didn't you know?
I noticed.
I will be running a, I guess you could say, homebrewed game called Mobbin' Robin Goblins using the 5e. All the players are going to be wonderful goblins. On a mission.
I'm gobbling that story up.
Can I go now?
No. It'll be next Sunday, right after this show.
Cool. Whisper?
Rachel. You can find me on Twitter. It's at RB Swertfigure, which is my actual name. I also have the podcast that I am working on. I've been doing some things with the players. We're getting ready to start actually sitting down and recording, so things will be coming out very, very soon. I do have a Twitch. I don't use it that often. I think I streamed the other night just because I was like, well, I'll just put it on, and if people show up, people show up. I think I had one person. Yay! So I mostly just play games, and that's about it. Nothing super exciting. We are doing stuff for my Rules as Written podcast, which is an actual play 5th edition D&D thingamajigger with a couple of us playing in a custom campaign for our DM Tony.
Cool.
That's about it.
Before you go on to Joe, George Romero died while we were playing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just logged onto Twitter, and that's like the first thing. Aw.
That sucks. Goodbye, George.
Wow.
Also, Game of Thrones is on soon.
That's
Da 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 da. Sorry,
Joe!
Joe.
Well, following George Romero's passing, hey, actually, I don't think we are going to have a game next Sunday.
I was going to announce that, yeah.
A friend of ours is going to be, who lives in Texas, is going to be visiting Jersey, and we have not seen her for quite a while, or her somewhat newborn child. So,
Newborn child.
well,
First
him
spawn.
in January, or her in January, I think.
She was born like last year, late in the year, I think. So
Okay.
we would have if
December.
yes, if our original plans for January had gone through, which we would have carpooled down that way, we would have seen her and she would have been a couple of months old, I think, like 1 or 2 months old. So
Yeah. So we're probably not going to have the game next week, but we should still be having our discussing tabletop next Saturday. So I'll see everyone then.
okay,
And that's all I got.
cool. So yeah, as he said, next week we will be off, so you can go and watch Frank's stream just fine. That can be what you do if you really want to do something.
Can be what you do.
If you want to do something D&D related, that would be an option. We'll be back the week after that. So.
I had no idea we were off next week.
I was going to announce at the end of this one. We had decided it like yesterday, so I hadn't had a chance to tell anybody.
Look, the most important thing is I have a mustache now.
And who wants a mustache ride?
Ooh.
Me.
Nope. I'm good.
You're gonna ride your
I'm good.
you're gonna ride your own mustache?
I'm very flexible, sir. Oh, by the way, Tantus, you
Yes.
may continue.
Okay. I'll probably be streaming something a little later on tonight. I don't know if I'm going to do it with multiplayer gaming. It depends on if Ollie, maybe Frank here, and Tiv want to do something.
Tiff said he's up for it if he's alive.
Okay, so Tiv's up for stuff if he's alive? Okay, so
I think Ollie's playing Slime Ranch right now, so he probably is as well.
so we could totally squat up a little bit after here.
Oh, totally.
Yeah,
and
totally.
I'll hit you with a pan.
You would again.
So, for those that don't know, it was a week or two ago, I killed Tantus about 5 times in a row with just hitting me in the face with a pan. It was very entertaining.
I just wanted you to die, and then I ran away after, though.
And he ran away, however, I did throw a grenade at him and kill him again.
Well, no, there was that other battle that we all fought, and then I won, and I threw the grenade straight up, and I threw the grenade on the ground and blew myself up at the end too.
Yes. 100% just cut out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your audio's
You threw the grenade up and you died.
Well, no, I threw the grenade and it bounced on the ground, and then I ran over to it. That was me, you, and Winter.
I don't even remember.
Yes.
By the way, I did make a new outro song for this stream.
Oh.
Okay.
And it is based around Whisper's exploits today.
Oh.
Look at that booty, show me the booty.
Yes.
All right. All right, we're going off. Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye.